The Bridgerton baby is here, and how adorable is Simon holding his son? For some of us, this baby took us by surprise, as it was a rocky path for Daphne and Simon to agree to start a family. Were you just as surprised as us? However, the gender of the baby is different in the show than in the books. So what does that mean for season 2 of Bridgerton? Let's start from the beginning. When we're first introduced to Daphne, we learn her dreams revolve around getting married and becoming a mother. Simon, on the other hand, is the opposite. He wants his family line to end with him. The conflict in the story rises when Daphne finds out that it's not a matter about not being capable of having kids for Simon. He just doesn't want any. As messy as this sounds, it actually gives Simon the time to move past the things he said to his father. Growing up, the relationship between Simon and his father was not the best. Simon was rejected by his father because he had a stutter. This only pushed young Simon to work hard and do well in his academics. However, no amount of awards or good grades would let Simon win over his father's approval. This led Lady Danbury, a friend of Simon's mother, to take care of him. After years passed, Simon visits his dying father. This is where Simon makes a vow to end the family line by saying, "I will never marry, I will never sire an heir. The Hastings line will die with me." Sounds like a lot of hurt and anger has been bottled up. This is all an act of revenge and only makes us wonder if this really is what Simon wants. What do you guys think? He does keep his word until he meets Daphne. Once Simon is able to let go of his past, he tells Daphne that he does want a family. This leads us to the finale, where they welcome their first child. It's obvious that a baby is going to change everything for the Duke and Daphne, but does gender play a big part in it? In the books, it's written that Daphne's first child is a girl, but in the show, it's a boy. According to the novels, Daphne and Simon have 3 daughters first, followed by 2 sons. Julia Quinn's website shows the Bridgerton family tree revealing the names of Daphne and Simon's children. It starts with Amelia, Belinda, Caroline, David, and Edward. Could their baby be named David or Edward? Or will they change that too? You may be thinking, why is the gender of the baby so important? Remember, this takes place during the 1800s, and because of that, only male heirs could receive titles and property. Having their firstborn be a male lets power and money stay within the family. This is actually a theme in the show. We see it in Anthony as he finds it hard to be the heir of the Bridgerton family. Simon doesn't want his title, and in the Featherington family, it's unknown who the next heir is when Lord Featherington dies. However, for Simon and Daphne, this solves the problem of ever wondering if they would ever birth an heir. Bridgerton is more of a historical fantasy than an accurate period drama, as there are a lot of inconsistencies. In their world, there is no slavery or division in race. This show destroys the ugly world and creates a better one for its characters to live in. That being said, Daphne and Simon's first child could have been a girl. The creators of the show could have broken all the tradition of an heir having to be male and could have shown us a different side, the female side. They have no problem in taking out race, so why can't we see a daughter taking over her father's title? The Bridgerton book series contains 8 novels, and each one is focused on the love life of each of the Bridgerton siblings: Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Daphne, Eloise, Francesca, Gregory, and Hyacinth. As we know now, season 2 is to be centered around Anthony. It's time for him to find a perfect wife. But what will happen to Daphne and Simon? We're so hooked on their love story, we just can't put them off to the side. In an interview, the actress Phoebe Dynevor, who plays Daphne, said this: "I think obviously if we're sticking to the books, it's sort of Anthony's turn now. But there's no such thing as a happy ending, is there? I think love's always shifting and changing. So who knows? I'd like to see what happens next. And also, I'd like to see Daphne get involved in Anthony's love life since he was so involved in hers." She makes a point there. Anthony was very involved in finding Daphne a perfect partner.
You do not have what matters, proposals. Except, of course, from Lord Bourbon.
Do you think Daphne would have time to interfere in Anthony's love life while being a mother? We must wait and see. The heartthrob himself, Mr. Reggae Jean Page, who plays Simon, also believes that it's not the last you'll see of Daphne and the Duke. He says in an interview, they get married very young. They still have a lot of growing to do. They have a lot to do, and I think it'll be fun to watch them do that together. There's so much story left between Daphne and Simon. And what would Simon be like as a father when his own father wasn't that great? Don't you want to see Daphne and Duke go through the struggles of parenthood? We're thrown into their steamy, romantic love life, and once you put a baby in their story, the dynamic changes. Will motherhood be too much for Daphne to handle? Is the Duke going to be around to help? Or will he also end up like the father he had? Maybe changing the gender of the baby has more meaning to it after all. With their first child being a boy, the Duke has already broken that promise to his father. Will this somehow be a traumatic experience for the Duke later down the road? Season 2 could be centered around the Duke adjusting to being a father to his newly born son, and the pressure he puts on himself to be better for him and Daphne. Let's not forget about the chemistry that Daphne and the Duke have for each other. In season 1, they couldn't keep their hands off each other. Will the flame they have for each other die out? Raising a child is a lot of work. Maybe Daphne's wish of being a mother was more testing than she thought. Although Daphne does have a good role model of her own, Daphne's own mother, Violet Bridgerton. She may not have told Daphne how babies are made. That kind of talk was frowned upon those days. But she was a regular Simon and Daphne shipper from the start. If it wasn't for her, would Simon and Daphne be together at all?
She will need it. Life as a duchess will have many demands. Hosting balls, greeting foreign dignitaries. Daphne will not merely be in society.
Violet Bridgerton knows her kids so well, she pushes them to be the best Bridgertons they can be. With a mother that only wants the best for her children, Daphne is sure to have someone to fall back on if things get rough. Lady Danbury also plays a huge role in how Simon was brought up. She implies that she once threatened to blackmail Simon's late father early on in the series, but we were never told about what exactly. Seems like this could also have an effect on the way Simon becomes a father. Could this information have an effect on the Duke and his family's social standing? Jonathan Bailey, who plays Anthony, is unsure himself as to how the second season will play out. As he knows, the show will revolve around his character. He doesn't mind sharing the spotlight. He states in an interview, "There are so many cliffhangers. Eloise will be having her first season, I'm sure. There's Head Over the Heart with Benedict and his love of art. And there's a lot to, I think, really explore with Violet and Colin and Penelope. There's so much." With there being 8 books, there are speculations that potentially 8 seasons. With 8 Bridgerton siblings, does every sibling get their own? The way the books are written, that's the way it's looking. However, there is news that the potential storyline for Daphne and Simon could have a Meghan Markle and Prince Harry feel to it. The actress who plays Lady Danbury revealed that Harry and Meghan are the perfect examples of what it would be like for a young couple who are also in that position of power. The showrunner, trying not to spoil too much, has said, "I guess what we do know absolutely is that they're married now. It's a new married life and they have the baby. So there are all the struggles of what that's like for young people with a new baby." On the bright side, there's a new cast member to be introduced in this new season. If you've read the books, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, and maybe you were expecting to see her in season 1. The new lead heroine is Kate Sheffield, although in the series, she will go by Kate Sharma. The role has been cast and will be played by actress Simone Ashley. The character Kate is almost 21 and is just barely making her debut on the marriage market. And you remember from season 1, 21 is pretty old to barely be making your debut. Her character is described as a smart, headstrong young woman who has no time for foolish boys. Can't wait for Anthony and Kate to meet. Maybe we'll see Eloise dive into the marriage market with them this season. I just hope it's in an extravagant way that only Eloise will do. It's only right for her to stir things up. With all the ideas going around for season 2, there's no denying we're in for some fun. Who do you want to be back for season 2? Do you think Simon and Daphne should be our main focus, or should we see another character shine? How do you think the baby will affect their relationship? Make sure to let us know in the comments.